Okay, welcome back to Boners. I'm Harry Pines. Joining me as always are my two co-hosts. To my right, prominent advocate for legalized prostitution and well-known porn star, Mr. Tommy Rection.
Hey.
On my left, noted urogenitalist and author of two best-selling books, Penis Envy, Not Just a Woman's Problem, and Cock Blocking, also not just a woman's problem, Dr. Dick Harden.
Thank you, Harry.
Now, before we went to commercial, Tommy was relating a story about his most recent boner. Tommy, where were we?
Well, as I was saying, Harry, I was on the set of my latest film, Super Slimy Sleazy Sluts 4, The Return of the Nasty Nurse, the sequel, working for the first time with the great Tiffany Sloan. Now, I'd heard a lot of stories about how wonderful she was, Harry, but let me tell you something. Oh, this is one very generous woman. So, I'm gearing up for the cum shot, and she goes and does this little lick thing right on the bottom of my balls. Oh, Harry, I got this boner you could hammer nails on a board with. I'm telling you, this baby had veins bulging on top of veins.
So if I understand you correctly there, Tommy, and I certainly don't want to put words in your mouth, or anything else for that matter, this little lick trick of Tiffany's aided in the overall success of your boner. Tommy?
You are absolutely correct, Harry.
Dr. Dick, anything you'd like to comment on there?
Well, Harry, what Tommy is describing is a phenomenon called extra-testicular stimulation. And while I am reluctant to impugn the abilities of one Tiffany Sloan, I believe the same result of Tommy's boner could have been achieved by the lick of a Cocker Spaniel.
So what you're saying is that it was the licking itself and not who did the licking that aided in the success of Tommy's most recent boner.
Yes, that is precisely what I'm saying. It was the stimulation of the scrotum, or, to use the layman's terms, the ball bag, not the stimulator, that helped to enhance this boner.
Tommy, anything you'd like to add?
Well, Harry, as usual, Dick, he's got his head up his ass.
I see.
Granted, the feel of Tiffany's soft tongue on my nether nuts was a contributing factor to the overall boner. It was the visual stimulation. That was the primary cause for this truly bona fide boner. And furthermore, it wouldn't surprise me that Dick gets off on Cocker Spaniels. I've seen some of his girlfriends.
Tommy!
I'm not even going to dignify that with the response. Asshole.
Cocktail wiener.
Whoremonger.
Pencil dick.
Now,
You know
guys, let's not lower the dignity of this show with name calling. Let's just say you agree to disagree, and we'll move on from there. This might be a good time to go to the phones. Okay, I see we've got Don on the line from Modesto. Hello, Don. Welcome to Boners. How can we help you?
Hello, Harry. First, I'd like to say I watch the show all the time, and I think you guys are great.
Well, that's nice of you to say so, Don. How can we help you?
Okay, I hear you guys often describing a boner as an A or an A plus
Right.
or a super boner, and I was just wondering, how does your rating system work? I mean, is it overall size or shape or what?
Well, now I just know you're going to open up a whole can of worms with that one, Don. Because, you see, we all rate them differently. Now, who'd like to go first? Tommy?
Sure, Harry. Well, Don, the first thing I look for in a great boner is the size. The bigger, the better. Now, I know a lot of these mamby-pamby PCers are going to get mad at me for saying this, but I have never truly seen an impressive boner less than 6 inches. Never. That for me is the bare minimum. Oh, and of course, it's got to have some thickness to it. You know, some girth. That for me is what makes a great boner.
Dr. Dick, I see you chomping at the bit to say something.
Well, Harry, as usual, Tommy is an idiot. Yes, sure, some of the really great boners are these massive protrusions, but that is not in any way the only criteria for a truly magnificent boner.
I see.
Now, for me, first thing is hardness. Sheer strength is a quality to look for. Now, also, the angle is important. Anything less than the right angle is flaccid. Not worth a damn in my book. And you also have to take into account the purely aesthetic nature of the boner. The really impressive ones have a certain beauty to them. Now, by this I mean no knobs, no slants, no twists. And to really have a super boner, you must be uncircumcised. The absence of foreskin subtracts from the pure boner.
You can't tell me you honestly believe that crap. For your information, I'm circumcised and my boner is...
All second rate, Tommy. Thick, yes. Hard, yes. But all in all, one of the ugliest boners I've ever seen.
And yours is one of the skinniest, dinkiest little things I've ever seen. You definitely disproved the myth of black men having big boners. Harry, what do you think?
Well, now you both make valid points. Now, first of all, you've got to have some size. I'm sorry, Doctor, but if it's not at least a handful, it's certainly not the kind of boner I'd want to show anybody. However, I do agree with you about the angle. The higher that angle, the better it's going to be. Now, about the circumcision issue, that's a question that's been debated for centuries, and I'm sure we're not going to settle it here on tonight's show. Thank you for your call, Don. Okay, now we're almost near the end of our time. Something's been on my mind for a while, and I'd like to speak up now. I think we've all been hearing about this Viagra and these other so-called boner-building drugs. Now, do they work? I have no idea. Because the day I need some artificial stimulant to achieve my boner, that's the day I put a bullet in my brain. Now I can hear some of you out there saying, come on, Harry, this is the 90s, get with the times, what's so wrong with Viagra? Well, I'll tell you what's wrong with it. It's a fake. Oh, it may look real, it may even feel real, but it's a cheap fake, and it tarnishes the name of all the good boners that are achieved naturally. Now, I'm not just talking about Viagra now, I'm talking about anything that produces an artificial boner. These drugs, these creams, or even these so-called mechanical devices. They're all cheap fakes and should not be used by anybody wishing to achieve the true boner. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel about it.
I couldn't agree with you more, Harry. There's no place for these kind of things in the boner arena. And it makes me feel proud to know that there are men out there like you trying to keep our boners pure.
Thank you, Tommy.
My God, Tommy, you're a hypocrite.
Well, what are you saying, Doctor?
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but I know for a fact that Tommy has been taking Viagra for some time now.
Tommy.
That's a fucking lie!
Oh, is it? Then what is this? I found these in the dressing room. And if these are Flintstone vitamins, then there certainly are a lot of the Blue Betties!
I'm gonna kill you, son of a bitch! God damn!
Well, that's about all the time we have tonight. I'm Harry Durant for Tommy Rexing and Dr. Dick Harden saying the only bad boner is the one you're not having. Thank you. Good night.